It's your boy Spence, aka 912 Suspense, and I'm back with another video. Comment down below, man. I need y'all to tell me what kind of videos y'all want to see. How can I upgrade? What do I need to do better? Rate these videos, man. I need all the feedback I can get. So if you don't follow me on social media, which if you don't, you tripping, man. Something's wrong with you. Instagram, Snapchat, down here, man. Go ahead and follow me, add me, do all that good stuff. But if you don't follow me, then you probably don't know, I got a new job just a little over a month ago. So I decided this would be a perfect time for me to, go over all the crazy, wild jobs that I've worked. Cause y'all, I've worked in like so many different fields. Like I done seen a lot. So the summer going into my junior year, my homeboy was working at a restaurant. It was called Maryland's Monroe. So I'm food running, right? And it's in the middle of the summer. For those of you who live in Savannah, y'all know how hot it is in the summer. That humidity is crazy, bro. So like the job was cool. It was easy. It was sweet. I just grab the tray, take the food to the table, you feel me? Talk to the people. But it used to be so hot though, bro. I remember I used to just sneak off into the freezer just so I can cool off, bro. Like that's how hot it used to get. So I remember one night we were running slow and manager came up to me. They was like, "Hey Spencer, can you hop on the dishes?" I'm like, shit, all right. They had me working a double that day. I was like, man, it's slow. Like you should just let me go home. So I'm like, all right, bro, whatever. So I'm doing the dishes and stuff. And finally it's time for me to go home. So I dip. So my homegirl hit me up. She was going to this little baseball game. She was like, you should come. I'm like, I gotta go to work. She was like, just call off. It'll be all right, this and that. So I was like, hey, fuck it. So I called off, right? I go to the game. But the next day I called in to see what time they wanted me to come in. And dude was like, oh, you're not on the schedule no more. I'm like, what you mean I'm not on the schedule? He was like, yeah, they said you quit yesterday. And I was like, no, I didn't quit. I called out. I wasn't feeling good. And he was like, oh, well, that's not what they said. They said you quit, so they took you off the schedule. I wasn't stressing because I was like, shit, I'm junior, you feel me? I'm playing football and stuff. I wasn't even caring about that. So I go up there and get my check, and my homeboy was like, yeah, man, they said you quit because you had to do the dishes and you was blowed. I was like, bro, I wasn't blowed about I had to do the dishes. I was blowed because I wanted to go home. But, you feel me? Everybody being blowed at work. What is wrong with y'all? So that was that bullshit. After that, it's the summer going into my senior year. Back at another restaurant. Y'all want to hear something crazy? The restaurant I go to this time is ran by the same people that ran the first one. They were cool people, but they always used to just fight. They were just always fighting. But this was right by the pier, and if y'all know Savannah, the pier is like right the heart of Tybee, you feel me? It's where everything is, the strip, it's where all the crazy stuff happened. It was right by the pier, it was at Fanny's. I was like prepping the plates, so like I would have to grab all the food, I had to look at the tickets, then I had to grab the food, put it on the plates, and then I had to run it to the table. So I was doing that. That job was sweet, but I just remember it was getting close to football season, so I told the people, I'm getting ready for football, but once football season ends, I'll be back. Football season ended, I just never came back. Like I was not trying to do that. Restaurant jobs, they not hard, it be hot that day, and they like to hit you with doubles a lot. Other than that, pretty sweet. So right after we graduated high school, me, Cutter, and DJ, we got this job over at a warehouse, right? And the warehouse job, y'all, that thing was crazy. They had us working 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Where me and Cutter stayed, we stayed 45 minutes away from the spot. So I had to get up at like 4:45 to go pick up Cutter by like 5:15. So I had enough time to take that 45-minute drive to get to where we needed to be at 6 o'clock. And what's crazy is they had us working 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., right? With a 30-minute lunch break and it was 3 15-minute breaks. Couldn't even have our phones though. Phones had to stay in the whip. First of all, time out. How you work 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and get a 30-minute lunch break? 30-minute lunch break, bro. I remember they switched it to an hour for 1 week. They were like, nah, we're not loading enough trucks. We got to go back to the 30 minutes. I'm like, what the hell? Our job was we were loading trucks for UPS and FedEx. So we would get all the packages and we'd have to load them up and then they'll ship them off, right? But where we were working, the section had no AC, it had no fans, and it was just like so hot. Like I said, Savannah summers, bro, that humidity gets crazy, bro. So we were on those trucks about to die, and we working 6 a.m. 6 p.m. bro. No phones, no break for real. Them 15-minute breaks fly by, and shit, if you have too many boxes, you feel me, you can't even take a break because you just gonna push yourself back. And I remember one morning, Cutter called me at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he was like, hey bro, I'm so tired of this shit. And I'm like, me too, bro. Like, this shit is not it. Like, we could be doing something way different. So we're on the phone, and he was like, you just want to buck? And I was like, shit, yeah, let's just buck. So we ended up bucking. We just never went back to that shit. So January 2018, I started working this landscaping job. And bro, it might be the worst job I ever worked, low-key, like, not even gonna lie. It was cold during the time I was there. And the people I was working for, they was low-key racist, like no cap, bro. They was racist, like, they was some white country folk. The little shit they would do, you could just tell that, like, they wasn't fucking with us, you feel me? And Cutter could tell you, Cutter was over there. Let me tell y'all a quick story. So I remember Cutter, I ended up getting Cutter a job over there, right? And it was Cutter's first day at work. So he's sitting there and he doesn't know what he's doing, right? So the boss, he comes over and he's like, what are y'all doing just standing around? And Cutter was like, well, it's my first day and nobody's like really kind of told me what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of watching and stuff. He snatches the shovel out of Cutter's hand and he's like, this is what y'all need to do. And he's like doing this shit, right? He's like, I'm not paying y'all just to stand around. And he starts going and stuff. And me and Cutter look at each other, we like, what the fuck? Like, this is my first day on the job. I only been in this shit like 3 weeks, so I'm still kind of learning, like, so, but I'm just like, bruh, you over here snapping on us instead of like telling us like what to do. Like, you see, we knew you supposed to just come over there, be cool, explain like how the job go. But nah, man was snapping. Another one, we was laying sod. For y'all that don't know, laying sod is just like the pieces of grass. You put it on the ground and you like patch it up, you make it look nice, you feel me? So we were laying sod, right? And there was like a little hole. So my homeboy, he ripped a little piece to fill it in, right? And the boss, he was like, no, what are you doing? You can't do that. That's not gonna fit. He was like, no, I measured it out and made sure it's the right one. And he was snapping him. He was like, I'll fire you right now. You talking back to me, this and that. I told you it's not gonna work. Boom, boom. Like, he was just snapping on him, bro, in front of everybody. And we like, bro, it's not that serious. Like, it's just a little piece of sod that he tried to fill in. So he gets off his little tractor, right? And he comes, he's like, I swear, if this piece doesn't fit, you fire it right here on the spot. Perfect match. He's like, oh, my fault, man. I ain't mean that. Like, you gonna snap on this man, threaten to fire him in front of everybody just for him to be right, and then you gonna just try to, oh, I apologize, my fault. Nah, bro, like, that's some lame ass shit. Like, they used to just do shit like that throughout the whole time, bro. Like, that shit was lame. The damn people who be running the machines and stuff, they lazy as hell. They just be sitting up there talking about, come on, man, y'all slacking, do the work. He's just sitting there. I'm like, bro, you see it's a lot of shit for us to do. Come down here and help us. You want to sit up there and be lazy all fucking day? So after the landscaping job, I started working at the Salvation Army during the summer of 2018. I used to volunteer at the Salvation Army back in middle school. So like, I knew the people who worked there and stuff, so they got me a cool little job. They had me working with the 7 and 8-year-olds, and them little kids was bad as hell, low-key. Like, there was one kid, he was 6, he was in the 5 and 6-year-old group, but he was so bad that they had to move him up to my group. Like, he was just like the baddest kid out of that whole summer camp. Like, he was just so bad. I remember one day, he came to camp with a jewel, and he was like, he was bragging and showing people. So then I looked at him like, what is that? He's like, it's a jewel. He was like, I got it from my mom. And I was like, what? So I took it, and I took him to the front, and he was like, yeah, it was in my mom's bag. It was in my mom's purse. And I took it, and I brought it to camp. And I'm just like, are you serious, bro? This man is 6 years old, bro. That summer camp was low-key fun, though, man. The Salvation Army was cool. Kids was cool. Staff was cool. And then after the Salvation Army, I started working at the YMCA, and I was doing their summer camps and their after-school care and stuff. You know, I always, Spencer good with the kids, you feel me? Coach Spencer, you feel me? Counselor Spencer, all that. Spencer work good with the kids. You need a babysitter. Don't call me, though, because I'm not doing it unless you're paying that bag. Working with kids is, you just got to be patient, which is crazy because I'm one of the most impatient people you'll ever meet. But working with kids is pretty cool, man. You just gotta have good energy. You gotta be a good role model. Just try to lead them in a good way. For people who say they don't like kids or they don't like working with kids, you gotta remember everybody's different, right? And every kid is going through something different in their own house. So when they come to something like that, like an after-school care or a sport or anything where it's just a group of them, you gotta realize that they're all not going to be the same. You can't treat them all the same because they all have different stuff going on. Some of them might have both parents. Some of them might not have any parents, you feel me? Some of them could be going through a traumatic loss. Or there's just so much stuff that goes on in this world. So working with kids, to me, was fun. It was like a different challenge, a new experience each day. But yeah, man, the Y was just getting a lot of changes. After the coronavirus happened, a lot of people were leaving. And then they were just, a lot of the just like the core of the why when I got there was gone. So like the vibe there just was not the same. So it was just time for me to go ahead and get on out, man. But now I'm over here working at the grocery store, goddamn, and I'm working night shift, y'all. I'm working the night shift now. That's crazy. I never thought that I'd be working a night shift. But like the night shift low-key cool. Like you don't have to worry about people coming up to you in the store bothering you while you're working. Like you could just go straight to work, get your stuff done. I have my headphones in, I just be jamming. I be cutting the boxes open. I be like, okay, it's like, really? Stalking is like it's a big puzzle. Like it's like a big game, bro. Like you sit there, you cut your box open, you take whatever you got, and you be like, okay, where it go? Boom, and then you just filling in the box. You feel me? Like, and then you gotta make it look neat. You pull everything to the front, make it look neat. That shit was cool, man. Like I said, I've only been there for like a month now, so nothing too crazy. But the goal, low key, is not for me to be there for long. The goal is for me to stack this bread up, get an official camera, so I can make these videos even more crispier than what I already look right now. Cause as y'all can see, I'm looking. Ooh. But anyway, get an official camera, get a good laptop, go crazy with these videos, man. I'm trying to take over YouTube, man. 912 Suspense is gonna be something. Like, I'm for real. But like I said, man, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You feel me? Ooh, peep the fresh cut. Ooh, yes, sir. Y'all see what that shit say? What it say? It say I'm a beast because I'm a